Right, time now for some local and international motorcycling news, both of which are beginning to ramp up again after the Christmas festivities. Bear in mind that although you'll be watching this in the middle of January, we've probably recorded it a good week or two before that, so forgive us if you've seen any of this stuff already. Before we get into the nitty-gritty reality-based stuff, let us begin with a dose of fantasy. A computer game, in fact, although based very much on the real world, and with physics as close to reality as they can achieve. I am talking, of course, about Isle of Man TT Ride on the Edge 3. Yes, there's been two previous versions of this game, the first of which I actually played quite extensively myself, and although I did enjoy it, it ultimately proved too frustrating to keep me as a long-time player because crashing was not only all too easy, which I don't actually mind, I'm a fan of difficult realistic games, but throwing your bike into the scenery was also erratic, inconsistent and downright bloody annoying a lot of the time. Ride on the Edge 2 was apparently much better in that respect, and now even better playability is promised for this latest version. The game is obviously based on the Isle of Man TT races, and so the full course is in there, along with over 30 other tracks, based to some degree or the other on road racing courses that are to be found mainly in Ireland. To complement the track variety, you can also choose to ride any of 40 Superbike and Supersport machines. New for this edition of the game is a free ride option that allows you to head out on the full TT lap, where you'll discover an assortment of challenges to complete. How realistic is it in terms of replicating the actual TT course? Good question. Answered most convincingly by the antics of a certain Davey Todd, who used the game for 2 months solidly in 2018 to prepare himself for his first ever real-world TT event. He rose as high as second in the game's worldwide rankings and then went on to post the second fastest ever newcomers lap at the actual real crash and no reset button TT races. In 2022, he got on the Supersport podium. This is in the real world still. And he finished a hugely impressive 4th in the senior TT, the big one. If you fancy a taste of the TT or harbour any dreams of competing yourself, then this game is obviously a must buy. And if nothing else, as you can see from the footage, it looks absolutely amazing. Okay, from bikes powered by electricity in your gaming console to a new model powered by the same stuff but back in the real world again. You may remember, if you're a regular viewer, that in our coverage of the 2021 EICMA Expo we featured this striking looking electric bike out of Finland. Looks pretty radical with that weird rear wheel hub, I think you'll agree. Well, the young design and engineering team that has bravely financed most of the work on the project themselves so far showed off a new top-of-the-range version at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas earlier this month. This is no pipe dream either, because last year the first TS models started to be delivered to customers in Europe who had placed early orders. So there's every reason to believe that the TS Ultra will also soon make its way to potential early adopters. That rear wheel that seems to have no hub is also the electric motor, but as arresting as the visuals undoubtedly are, they are nothing as compared to the claimed performance numbers. 201 horsepower and a 0 to 60 mile an hour time of 2.5 seconds are massive, but not quite as massive as the claimed, 1,200 Newton meters of torque. Yeah. I've checked several times and I have not got it wrong. It is apparently that much. Other numbers are a top speed of 200 k's an hour, a range on a single charge of up to 375 kilometers, whatever that means, and a 20.2 kilowatt hour battery that will recharge from empty all the way up to 80% in just 25 minutes. If these numbers are real, then the range turns out to be even half as good in actual riding conditions as the number they quote here. I want one. I won't be able to afford one, obviously, but if I had a spare $44,000 or about 770,000 Rand, my name would be straight on their order books. And finally, let me tell you about a local event that is happening for a good cause next weekend. ride your bike on Sunday the 22nd of January and help fight the evil scourge that is poaching, and also get your pants off, all at the same time. Sound too good to be true? Well, this is one of those times that the reality will meet your expectations, so head over to Skinny's Facebook page, or alternatively, just pitch up at the Huckleberry Cafe in Magnolia Dell in Pretoria for a 9 AM start. If your personal ATGAT code forbids the dropping of your pants while you're riding, then you can make a 100 Rand donation to the Giraffe Conservation Foundation to make up for it. And you can then keep your pants up instead of down. And that is all we got time for in this episode. Please join us again in a week's time when something motorcycling is sure to be on the agenda on The Bike Show. See you then.